Welcome back to the Explainer. Listen, today we are tackling something absolutely crucial. It's a concept that has the power to literally make or break anything you write: organization and structural editing. I am so excited to get into this because we're going to completely shift our perspective today. We are stepping away from commas and sentence-level mechanics, and instead, we're looking at your document's architecture. We're going to treat you not just as a writer, but as a full-blown architect, building a robust, logical structure right from the ground up.
So let me ask you something. Have you ever written, or maybe read, a perfectly grammatical document where every single sentence was polished to an absolute shine, but by the time you hit page 2, you were just completely confused and lost? Yeah, I'm sure we all have. It is incredibly frustrating, right? You sit there thinking, well, the words are right, so why isn't the message landing? The answer almost every single time lies in the underlying structure.
All right, let's dive right into this. Here is our structural blueprint for today. First, the editor's big picture. Second, the reverse outline technique. Third, transitions and signposting. Fourth, navigation and heading hierarchy. And finally, mastering paragraph integrity. Starting off with Section 1, the editor's big picture, building the foundation.
Okay, so when you sit down to edit, this structural pass has to be your very first step. It's the most critical pass you'll make. You're putting on your hard hat and acting as the architect of your own ideas. Notice how structural editing is defined entirely by its utility. A well-organized document guides the reader from point A to point Z with zero friction. Basically, the grouping and sequencing of your ideas is the architecture of your house. Think about it. Beautiful, expensive wallpaper, which, represents your polished, perfect sentences, doesn't matter one bit if the house's foundation is literally collapsing because your ideas are scattered all over the place. Structural editing is what ensures the house actually stays standing. Moving right along to Section 2, the reverse outline technique, checking the blueprint.
To check our blueprint, we use something called the reverse outline. This is a real game changer. It's your primary diagnostic tool to check for structural flaws way before you start painting the walls. It forces you to completely flip how you read your own work. You have to stop reading for content and actually start reading for function. There are 3 steps here. First, extract the core. Number every single paragraph, and on a totally separate document, write down the one main claim of each. And let me tell you, if you find 2 totally distinct ideas in one paragraph, that is an immediate red flag. Second, analyze the function. Label what that paragraph is actually doing. Is it an introduction? Is it evidence? A counterargument? And third, diagnose the flaws. You look at that stripped-down list and figure out what's fundamentally broken.
So what exactly are we diagnosing here? Let's rapidly fire through the 4 specific structural flaws you're hunting for in Step 3. Number 1, redundancy. Are paragraph 3 and paragraph 7 basically saying the exact same thing? Just combine them. Number 2, misplacement. Are you jumping the gun and recommending a solution before you fully explain the problem? Reorder it. Number 3, gaps. Is there some massive jump in logic between 2 points? Your reader isn't an Olympic long jumper, okay? Go back to the drawing board or ask the author for that missing info. And finally, proportion. Are you spending 3 entire paragraphs on some minor detail, but only 1 on your main argument? Trim the excess or expand the core to get that proper balance.
Which brings us to Section 3, transitions and signposting, navigating the hallways. Once we've got the blueprint fixed, we move to the paths. If your sections are the rooms of the house, your transitions and signposts are the hallways connecting them. An expert editor makes sure these sections are visibly connected so readers never hit a frustrating dead end. You do this through section bridges, meaning the end of one section naturally sets the reader up for the next one. You also do this through roadmaps in your introductions. You literally tell the reader, first we'll examine X, then we're going to analyze Y. But here is the most important part. You need the so what factor. Every single section has to clearly tie back to the document's primary thesis, because if a section doesn't answer the so what, well, it's just a hallway leading to nowhere.
Next up, Section 4, navigation and heading hierarchy, setting up the signage.
Now that our hallways are built, we've got to set up the signage. Headings are basically the reader's internal GPS system. If your headings are inconsistent or confusing, the reader instantly loses trust in the document's authority, and honestly in your credibility as an expert. I want you to treat this rule of hierarchy like an immutable law of physics. You cannot have a 1 without a 2, meaning if you have a level 2 heading labeled 2.1, you absolutely must have a second level 2 heading labeled 2.2. If you only have one single subpoint, it shouldn't even be a heading. It should just be baked into the text of the section before it. Don't go creating a whole new category for just one item. I really want to point out the concept of parallelism here. Look at the flawed side. The headings jump from a noun phrase to a verb phrase to a literal question. It's so jarring for the brain. But look at the corrected side. They are all grammatically identical noun phrases. Data collection, results analysis, implications. This consistent structure creates a subconscious rhythm. It helps your reader mentally categorize the information quickly and smoothly. It is a tiny, tiny structural tweak, but it makes a massive difference in readability.
And finally, Section 5, Mastering Paragraph Integrity, Laying the Bricks.
If your document is the house and your sections are the rooms, then your paragraphs are the fundamental bricks building those walls. To lay a solid brick, you just need to follow a few simple rules for paragraph integrity. First, your starting sentence acts as a mini headline. It should instantly announce what that specific brick is all about. Second, keep the links to about 3 to 7 sentences. That maintains a really brisk, professional pace. If you stretch one paragraph across an entire page, you are absolutely burying distinct ideas, and your reader's eyes are just going to glaze right over. And finally, every single sentence inside that paragraph must serve the topic sentence, no exceptions whatsoever.
Just look at the contrast between a solid wall and a sloppy one. A unified paragraph feels tight, it feels focused and powerful, because all the sentences support that main topic. But a paragraph suffering from topic drift contains what editors like to call a stray sentence. It's a sudden, weird tangent that totally distracts the reader. As an architectural editor, you got 2 choices when you spot a stray. Either move that stray sentence to its proper room where it actually belongs, or, if it's important enough, build a completely new paragraph, a brand new brick just for it.
So, as we wrap things up today, I challenge you to take a hard look at your own writing habits. Try out the reverse outline. Check your heading hierarchy. Inspect your bricks. Ask yourself, what structural flaws are currently hiding in your next draft? If your last piece of writing didn't quite land with your audience, was the problem really your vocabulary, or was it your architecture? Build a strong foundation first, and I promise you, your ideas will finally stand the test of time. Thanks for joining me today, and happy editing.